Sponsored by The Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services.
Welcome back to the Forum, where the Los Angeles Lakers, in impressive fashion, have opened up a 69-54 lead here at the half in Game 1 of the NBA Finals for this year. So welcome now to the Prudential at the half. And joining me here this afternoon, this evening I should say live, a pleasure to have two of our analysts from CBS, former NBA coaches, Hubie Brown and Billy Cunningham. And Hubie, what about the Los Angeles Lakers here in the first half?
Well, I think they're so impressive off their defense, Brent. The defense has caused 11 fast break scores for them. They're great on the offensive board. I think it's a tribute to the coaching and the quickness of the ball club.
Billy, how about the Celtics?
Well, I think, number one, I don't know if I'm Casey Jones, if I don't go in and say, hey, they can't play any better basketball than that. Now, what we have to do is we have to get back and stop their transition game. That means Magic, Worthy, etc., and also do the job on the defensive boards and control the tempo offensively a little better.
Well, Billy and Hubie, we're going to get back to this game, but there is another issue in the NBA that we want to talk about, and that is the growing number of violent incidents. I'm sure many of you have seen these on the news and perhaps live. Dominique Wilkins and Lambier, and later it was Detroit and Boston. It was Bird and Lambier going at it. And then, of course, there was even a suspension. Robert Parrish was suspended for 1 game for punching out Lambier in the Boston Garden. Now, you two gentlemen are former coaches. And, Hubie, are you teaching, our coaches, ordering up violence when we get to the playoffs? What's happening?
No, I think what's happening is that what you're saying is, look, we're not trying to hurt anybody. If you're going to foul a guy, make sure that he doesn't get the ball up above his shoulders so he can cause a three-point play. And above all, you're not trying to hurt any player. Let's face it, everybody's making a good living in this business.
Billy, a pretty fine line in what's going on, however.
Yeah, but also, Brent, I think we're very fortunate that basketball players cannot fight, number one. Number two, I think we want to see a half like we just saw, with great intensity, teams going at each other very hard. We didn't see any of that, but I think if it ever happens, I think the league will do something and punish the player with suspension.
Yeah, but what about the referees? Now, what burden must they bear in toning down the violence?
Well, no two guys can referee an NBA game. The game was meant to be played at rim level. You're playing it at a foot above the box. What you have here is the best that a game has ever been refereed in the NBA playoffs was 9 years ago when we used 3 men. 3 men can cover the floor. There are no dead areas.
Billy, what about more suspensions? Parrish was suspended by the commissioner for 1 game.
I think, though, that was a very questionable suspension because Robert Parrish was questionable going into that 6th game. So that was kind of a slap on the wrist. I think if it happens again, the league must suspend a player and let everybody know we will not tolerate violence.
All right, well, there was another controversy in the league. This one involves Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons. We're going to come back and talk about Thomas, and also there has been a development regarding David Robinson, the sensational center who is coming out of the Naval Academy. Back after these messages from your local station.
Soar beyond your expectations. Today, the Prudential can show you a new world of financial opportunities. Look to the Rock for stocks and bonds, mutual funds. Feel its strength in CDs, insurance, and mortgages. With the right choices, the right guidance, you can move mountains. The Prudential, your rock in financial services.
Coming this summer, the year's most spectacular sporting epic, the Pan American Games on CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
Cable TV makes sense to me.
Only from Austin Cablevision can you get the best in continuous sports, great old classic TV series, movies, 24-hour news and weather. Cable delivers your VCR a steady supply of programs you can't get on regular TV. 38 basic channels are just $12.95 a month, less than 50 cents a day.
See what I mean?
Be connected. Get Austin Cablevision today. Television that makes sense.
Clean or good, men?
Aye, sir.
Sir, unidentified deposits on fuel injector 3.
This sounds like a job for the Power Scrubber.
Conoco's unleaded gasolines with Power Scrub clean your engine's fuel system so your car runs smoother with more power and fewer engine problems.
Hey, kid, for a rookie, you weren't half bad. What's your name again?
Bradshaw, sir.
Right.
Get Power Scrub with Conoco unleaded gasolines.
Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, CCR, Moody Blues, Rolling Stones, Steppenwolf, Bob Dylan, The Doors, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Jethro Tull, Grateful Dead, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Leonard Skinner, The Who, Steely Dan, Eagles, Eric Clapton, The Kinks, Bob Seger, Boss Journey, Genesis, Elvis Costello, ZZ Top, Dire Straits, Pretend, Robert Plant, The Cars, The Police, Tom Petty, U2, The Fabulous John Cougar Mellencamp, Talking Heads, Bruce Springsteen, Peter Gabriel. KLBJ FM. There's only one rock and roll connection. Listen to FM 94.
Austin Cablevision loses a court battle. Details after the game.
At the half continues here from Inglewood, California. Let me bring you up to date now on David Robinson, because the NBA this afternoon clarified its position. As you know, he has a 2-year obligation. The Navy has said he cannot play while he's on active duty. San Antonio says it will exercise its first pick and select Robinson. They have 1 year in which to sign him. If not, he will go back to the draft pool. The second team that then drafts him would have 1 more year to sign him. After that, the NBA says today, David Robinson would become a free agent. Now, I tell you that because the Lakers have asked Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to play 2 more years, next and 1 after that, and they are thinking, of course, that they would have a shot at young Robinson. Now, a controversy developed after that fierce 7-game war between the Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics. I'm sure you have seen the quotes attributed to Dennis Rodman and also Isaiah Thomas regarding Larry Bird. Bird is a very good player and exceptional talent, but if he were black, he'd be just another good guy. Hubie Brown, let me ask you your feeling about that comment by Isaiah.
Well, I think it's quite unfortunate because Larry Bird is at the top of the profession. In the last 4 Player Association polls, Larry Bird has won the MVP twice. He was second to Bernard King in '84. So in 3 out of the 4 years, an association which is predominantly black, 75%, voted for Larry Bird at the top.
Billy, your feelings?
I had mixed feelings. I was shocked. I couldn't believe this young man, Isaiah Thomas, that I know, a great kid, would say a statement like this. And I almost get the feeling I'd like to hear more from Isaiah about what his thoughts are about this.
Well, Billy, I spoke to him this afternoon, and Isaiah will be with us live Thursday night, and he says he was somewhat misunderstood. He blames himself. He was certainly not misquoted, but he does want to clarify his position, and he will do that at the half of Game 2 of our NBA Finals. Hubie, let's take a look ahead at the second half. What about it?
Well, I think the Laker defense is outstanding. The quickness has held up through the entire season in playoffs. They're making it very difficult for Bird and McHale to get the necessary shot attempts in order for Boston to come back and win big. If they can keep that kind of defensive pressure, I think they're in good shape.
And Billy?
Well, I think Boston has several things, but number one, they're going to have to hit that perimeter shot from the outside offensively when the Lakers double down. They're also going to have to get back defensively and force it into a half-court game.
All right, so it'll be coming up the second half here, the Lakers and the Celtics. And we'll have it right after we go to a CBS News break coming your way tonight from Washington, D.C.
Coming up on Channel 7 News, Austin Cablevision has suffered a major setback in its efforts to win changes in its franchise agreement with the City of Austin. An independent hearing officer ruled today that the request to reduce cable features cannot be justified. He did rule, however, that the franchise fee charged the cable company by the city is too high. Austin and Central Texas are regrouping after heavy rain set off more flooding this afternoon, and more rain is in the forecast. And Austin City Manager Jorge Carrasco has now modified his proposal that city employees take 3 days off without pay to ease the city's budget crunch. Carrasco now says 1 day off per employee may be enough. We'll have details on these stories and more after the game.
Hey, can I tell you about my new home? Give me a break, will you? It's a gem craft. A gem craft? Strike 3. Way to go, Ace.
We're splitting up. Goodbye.
Why?
You really want to drag this out, don't you?
Don't miss Taxi tonight following the Channel 7 News.
Footwork. Yeah, I know. Get a real job.
The Honda Accord, the Honda Civic, the Honda Prelude, and now the 5-speed mid-engine overhead valve Honda riding mower. It transforms cutting the grass into a memorable Sunday drive. The Honda Riding Mower. It could be the car of the year.
I worked very hard. Let me tell you, I made a lot of sacrifices, trying to be as good as I could be. And I did not want to do anything that was going to short-circuit that. Drinking, drugs, it doesn't make sense. I knew that they were counter to what I was working for. It just doesn't make sense.
CBS Sports coverage of the 1987 NBA Finals is sponsored by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's only one light beer. GMAC, the official sponsor of America's Dreams. And by Honda Power Equipment, lawnmowers, riding mowers, and portable generators made to last.
We're back at the Forum in Inglewood, where the Lakers have a 15-point lead at halftime with 69 big points. And the Celtics shot well, but not well enough. Look what the Lakers did. Rebounding-wise, the Lakers had an edge of 10-3 off the offensive glass that really hurt the Celtics. And, of course, that fast break that Brent, Billy, and Hubie were talking about, 29-6 in favor of the Lakers. And I'd have to think that it's 15, it was 21, and that if the Celtics are going to make any kind of a statement in this game, Tommy, would have to come right out here in the third period.
The first thing you have to do in a playoff series is prove to yourself that you found a way to stop a big problem. They have not done that. The Lakers have been awesome in the first half with that fast break and the pace game. And the Celtics need to contain that here in the second half so that they can feel confident they can do it in game two.
What the Celtics are doing is they're getting back quickly against the break, but it looks like the Lakers are going the length of the court anyway. What can they do and what should they do?
You're exactly right, Dick. What the Celtics are doing is just turning tail and heading back as fast as they can into the paint. Nobody's going out, challenging the rebound, challenging anybody advancing the ball quickly, and the Lakers are just getting easy shots in between the seams.
Well, a few moments ago, Pat O'Brien caught up with the Celtics head coach Casey Jones, and here was KC's assessment of the first half.
I see about 12,000 fast breaks and that many points. And when they didn't have the fast break, they got the post-up play. Worthy's got 18 points or something like that, or 23. And so that means we're not getting back on defense very well, and also we're not really doing that much on the offensive end to slow them down.
What do you have to do?
What we have to do is those things, and we got to get better offense. They really pack it in. They're playing a great defense down there, but we got to do a better job of getting better shots. Robert and Kevin, they're being double teamed and they're being pushed out when they're not double teamed, and that's an outside shot, which it's not very good. We get outside shots, they get layups on the other end.
2 words: James Worthy.
Worthy, awesome. And
what are you going to do about it?
And the wild part is he knows it.
Good luck second half, KC. Let's go back to Dick Stockton.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And the Celtic guards are shooting only 5 for 12, 10 points total for the guards. And it was Bird, Parrish, and McHale. And it was a tremendous second period for Larry Bird, where Bird scored 14 points. Now look at the Lakers. James Worthy, 23.